It's a shame because I thought the buys looked really good.
Me too, man. Oh well.
Yeah, that's it, innit? All we can do is manage risk. Yeah, man. See, even the 30-minute, right? I see this happen all the time, that it should continue moving bullish when we have this sort of structure. But it just seemed to be the probabilities. Come back in the range. 15-minute close back in the range. Morning, morning. So we've got 25 minutes left for the hourly to close. So morning, morning everyone, how's it going? Because if we do continue moving up, and since I've got my other 25% running, I think it would be good because it could cover, you know, the current loss, and then if I can leave a runner to run to 142,700, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, the higher time frames look solid. That's true, but the smaller time frames, you know, it didn't look so good what it was doing over here. So I've closed like 75% of my position. I'm now leaving 25% to run because, you know, if we do just start to come up through these wicks and continue on, then I would be covering back what I've closed out so far. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a shame because this candle should have done what we was expecting it to do if the move was going to work. But it does seem like it's coming back above this area now. Yeah, look at that, man. Yeah, see, this 50-minute candle, it should have respected this area. The 30-minute should have closed above. And then, you know, we would have held the buys. It would have made sense. So, I mean, right now, we just have to wait and see. But I'm leaving the 25% to run. Because then if it does continue up, I got in the same trade, but everything out when it pulled back, lost 0.7 pips. That's pretty good. That's still fine. I think that's good. I've closed out 75% of my position in a bit of a small drawdown, and now I'm letting a piece run, because then if it does continue moving bullish, then I would be, securing back the loss, and then maybe even a tiny bit of profit if we can maybe let the piece run to 142,700. Yeah, look at that. Seems like it wants to move up over here. Look at that. It's continuing up now. 30 minute also continuing bullish. If this 30 minute breaks the high right over here, then I think we're going to continue this push right up. So we had the right idea. Just 15 minute close back in the range. And then the next one is now pushing up after doing. So this is like a liquidity grab. This is what basically we're seeing here. And the 30 minute closed in the range. So it made the trade very difficult. But this current 30 minute is trying to push up. Did you close 75% as the 15 minute candle closed bearish? I was hesitant as well to close partial. However, the 30 minute still closed bullish with range to fill. So, I mean, look, what I did was I closed 50% as this candle closed bearish. Reason why is because there's two reasons why. One, the 15 minute candle closed back in the range. Two, if you look at the 30 minute also closed back in the range. This was the type of impulse entry, right, where we have a support formed just below a resistance. Next candle breaks the high. I got in on the 1 hour break just to be extra safe, right? But it did push out of this range. You got to think it pushed out of this range and then it closed back in the range. So when it closes back in the range, it makes it very difficult for price to continue. In fact, most of the time I'll be closing out full positions here because, it doesn't make sense for price to continue. But due to the higher time frames, I was like, okay, well, it makes sense to leave a small piece running in case it does continue the way I anticipated it. So right now, if this 15 minute candle closes bullish, right, as it is, it means it gives the next 15 minute candle a position to continue this move, and then we should break through 142,550. But leaving the other 25% to run will cover the small loss and push me into a little bit of profit, hopefully, today. But yeah, so I closed 50% when the candle closed bearish. I closed another half when we broke the 15 minute low. Something I also see happen a lot of times. And when that happens, it can just come straight back in the range. So like deep towards your stop loss. So that's why I closed another 50%. And then I was like, okay, well, if I leave 25% to run, if it does continue, then, I'm going to be secured in terms of making sure it's not a complete loss. I'll make back some of that loss. So at this point, if we break this high over here, I think it's going to be good to 142,700. And I think that'd be really good to, yeah. Look at that, it's breaking the high of the previous 30 minute candle. Already trying to continue bullish.
Kelsey, I think we shouldn't doubt that GJ. We should be more stable in feelings to this pair.
Yeah, true. I think you're right, Harrison. The higher time frames do look really good.
Yeah.
Give you that. So, yeah, something to learn next time.
Yeah, we're moving here now. We're above this 142,550 area. I think next stop 142,700's incoming. Because if you look at the 4 hour, it's the same structure we see all the time. you know. But then since I was like, you know, because this 30 minutes should have closed above, we should have done all of that, fine. But the amount of times I've closed everything and then I just see price run. So I think it made sense to like leave a position to run, and there you go, look at that. So as long as you manage risk and then you leave some position to run, then it could work out really well. But yeah, I think we're approaching 10 pips here soon.
We still love you, GJ. Still
Sorry?
love you. We still love you, GJ. Still love you.
Quality. Yeah. I think 700's incoming. If we can hit 700, that would be fantastic. Oh, beautiful. Approaching 10 pips here soon. Oh, look at this, man. Yeah, 700's incoming. Oh, beautiful. Yep. Got the loss back. Oh, look at that.
You closed some out, did you?
No, I didn't even close it. I'm just
Might keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it for a minute. See, this was what we were trying to catch with this breakout, but it just didn't want to do it. Damn. Look at this. Yeah, we should continue this momentum. Obviously, we need pullbacks and stuff. But I think it's pretty good. I think 700 is incoming. I've got my target at 142, 700. So if I close out there, it will mean I've made a small profit for the day. So I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with that. Maybe could have added positions back, but then, you know, there wasn't much confirmation for that, you know. Yeah, here we go. I think 700 should be incoming now.
I think someone was right in the chat, like the 30-minute did close below, but had the range to continue.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot.
It had the range. That's true. But at the same time, you know, if you read the candles, we closed back in the range, so it became very hard for it to work out, you know, but it did work out. Ooh, beautiful 15-minute candle closed, a strong bullish. It's at the 30 minutes still open. Yeah, we should just continue running here. Got 14 pips right now. So now I'm technically back in profit, but I know it's gonna cover. Now I'm just covered with like commission and stuff. So I don't know if I want to just squeeze a little bit more out of this move here, or should I just secure positions? Yeah, I'm gonna hold it for a minute. Why not? Beautiful, beautiful. People securing positions. Very nice. Got 10 pips, got out. Beautiful. 12 pips secured. Nice. Yeah, it's a shame. We really expected this 30-minute breakout to be this candle. So it just goes to show, you know, maybe sometimes that's why it's important to leave positions open when you're in profits. But yeah, either way, still a good trade. Still a great trade. I'm just holding here for a little bit longer. I really want to see if we can get to 142,700. That's what I really want. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. I suppose when this 5-minute candle closed right over here, could have added a position, because this was a strong 5-minute candle, you know, and it engulfed that whole downside. So maybe that could have made sense. Just thinking like aloud. So it was a hefty 5-minute candle. Yeah, I actually closed my position somewhere up over here. Yeah, I was looking at the 5-minute. I was like, if the 5-minute breaks its own low, then I'll just close it. But I was expecting, like, you know, with the volume, just to continue pushing. I don't want to be sitting in any of this pullback malarkey. So there we go. Secure back the 25%. So I think that's a good little lesson, I suppose, because, you know, leaving that 25% to run meant that I could secure back my positions. Look at that retracement. We could get a nice wick fill here, though. If we get like a deep pullback for London Open and then a nice continuation, we could maybe even catch a second move. So there we go. So yeah, that trade's done now. Secured positions back. Probably should have closed that when we hit the top, but oh well. Oh well. Yeah, so commission put me down by minus £10. But that's fine. At least minus 10 is better than you know, taking the loss. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Leaving the 25% to run and then securing, making back the small loss. I think that's pretty good. Because if this 30-minute closes above, see, right, okay, if you look left, if this 30-minute closes above this area, right, then we do have a clean range to retest this high. But at the same time, are we going to break it? even like a support or something in this area. But yeah, there you go. So even if you kept your full position running, hopefully you secured positions. You took a winning trade today. If you took a winning trade, drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's take a look at gold. Let's do some fresh analysis on gold while we wait for GJ's 30-minute to close. Okay, so looking at gold, let's start off here with the daily. So looking at the daily, I'd say since the daily candle has closed below this resistance here, we were discussing yesterday, below 1855, that gold should continue down. At the same time, it's already broken the low. It's starting to retrace. So it could be coming up to do like a retest and then continue down. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Obviously, people in the YouTube chat, if GJ's doing anything, you can let me know. Then we've got 6 minutes left for that 30-minute to close. Because if that 30-minute leaves a nice wick, could potentially still head up. So let's take a look at the 4-hour. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, we had a support over here, right? Price came down, broke below. This 4-hour candle closed bullish. So if the next one does break the high and then we start coming back above 1853, then we should come right back in the range. And if we come right back in the range, I think we could hit around 1858. Let's take a look at the 1-hour time frame. So remove everything again. So 1 hour becomes a little bit messy, but I think we need to focus here on the most recent price action. So if we look at that, we tried to create resistance in pre-London, or sorry, late Asian, and now we're starting to create some support coming into the London session. We have a resistance right over here, so we'd probably want to wait for a break above 1851 based on the 1 hour, and then if we do, I think it's going to be a good opportunity for price to continue to like 1857. So let's measure this range. There is like a resistance around 14 pips away, but we should break that and then got a nice 60 pip range. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. 30-minute. Yeah. I think it's a little bit messy, but I think a good conservative target is going to be right over here, 1855. Yeah, which would make sense because that's kind of like the retest area. Change this back. There we go. And then for sells, I mean, if we start to close back below 1848, then there's a very good chance we can continue bearish to 1845. So if we measure this range, this is around, yeah, like a 30 pip ranges. It's okay. And then obviously the best sells are going to be below 1845 because then we have a nice clean range at that point on the 30-minute, coming down to 1839. Okay, let's go back to GJ here. Oh, look at this retracement. We've got 3 minutes left and it's retracing quite heavy. Yeah, probably want to wait maybe for like some support. But either, see, when I see this, one or two things can happen. Either the 30 minutes going to close above and the next one's going to respect this low and, you know, come up and fill the wick. Or we're going to need to wait for like a 15-minute support above this 550 area, and then as the next one breaks the high of that, you know, we can continue that move up. But as we come to open, I want to take a look on the 5-minute because I've been noticing something on the 5-minute coming toward London Open. So I think if people miss the buys, there is an opportunity to get in on the 30-minute close, something that I would usually get in anyway. So, I mean, yeah, even the wick fills like 10, 11 pips makes complete sense. And then if it does continue on to 142,700, it's like a 15 pip range at that point. But yeah, let's take a look at GU. GU should be doing the same thing. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. It's breaking above this resistance. It's trying to close above this resistance. So GU should continue moving bullish. Yeah, 15 minutes seems to be doing like a retest. Well, GU, once it broke the high of that bearish candle, it moved around 9.6 pips before retracing. GCAD also moving bullish. Okay, let's wait and see. So trade 1, I basically say break even. GJ buys. Yeah, it was practically break even because I left that position to run at that point. Secured 2 position at 10 pips and let T run. Beautiful. 4 hour just looks so clean after that 750 wick. Yes. Yes, I'd agree with that. I did not, but I will push the like button because I like. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, it seems like we just done a deeper retracement or like a liquidity grab over here. 30 minutes coming back to close strong at this point. One hour candle also closing a strong bullish candle. Five-minute creating support. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is wait and see how London Open reacts. See if we get like a pullback. So yeah, we got London Open. Might have the volume to just push straight up, but I'd rather see it push down first. Oh, look at that. London Open just pushes it straight bearish. Yeah, I think it's going to be best to wait and see how it sets up, because what I've noticed with London Open, if we look at the 5-minute, we're going to get some form of pullback with a 5-minute candle that's going to drop, and then we should see a bullish candle come up and reciprocate and establish some support in this zone, and then then your next candle should drive up, your next 5-minute candle after that. So just going to see how it reacts in this area. See if we can get that bullish engulfing candle or start to break this level here, and then you could start to head up at that point. So yeah, just gonna watch this 5-minute how it plays out. Something I've been looking at. Yeah, look at this deep retracement. Could be doing a retest, but this is why it's gonna be good to wait, see if we can get a nice, because see, right, this is good, because now if we get a bullish candle that does something like this, right, let's just say something like this, leaves a nice wick, then we could anticipate this was the bottom wick of the 30-minute candle, and then you're anticipating candles to continue to print in a certain manner. Yeah, we're coming back right to this level now. Quite good drawings, actually. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely glad I stayed out of this second attempt because I don't want to be sitting in any drawdown. It looks like it's coming right back in the range at this point. If it breaks this low, then the buys become super difficult. Always coming right back in the range. Wow, look at that, man. Yep, we've broken the 30-minute low. We're entering back in the range at this point. Oh man, oh man. So I think we can remove this zone now. We can remove this area. It's not an important area anymore. But yeah, we broke the low in the 30-minute. So for those who entered in buys, you just got wicked out. You know, so I think it was a good point to wait. So we can neaten this up a bit. I think a good opportunity as well could be a support formed in this area. If this candle closes above this support, we get a nice support. But right now, it's just coming right down. It's flipped the 4-hour bearish. Oh, I got the hiccups. Come on, GJ, don't hit my stop loss. Yeah, man, look at that. Right back in the range. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. London Open, you got to be careful. Just a straight drop with London. It's like a 15 pip 5-minute candle. So yeah, my trade for the day is done, unless, you know, we get good confirmations below, I don't know, like maybe 142 300 could be good possible sells, or even below 142 160 is also good sells. It's like 18 pip range at that point. But yeah, there you go. So we had a break even day today. I think that's pretty good. We managed, well, I managed risk, right? We managed the buys, you know. Obviously, this candle, there was no confirmation in a sense for that candle. You know, this 30-minute should have been the candle to do what this candle did, but it couldn't. We didn't have the volume at that time, so you had to manage the trade, and you had to manage your risk, right? If you based it off the hourly, if you based this trade just purely off the hourly, you would have ran into, you know, 16 pip profit, you know. But looking on the 30-minute, we anticipated this 30-minute candle to continue this move bullish, but you can see how it closed back in the range. So when it closed back in the range, it just made it very difficult. So we had to manage the risk, and then obviously left 25% to run, and then this candle pushed up to give me that profit back, you know. But yeah, there we go. I think that was a good decision. But we had the right bias. We had the right idea. Everything was correct. There was no real way of getting in, you know, on this particular push, because, you know, there was no confirmation. This candle technically closed back in the range. I broke the high and closed bearish, you know, so it made it very difficult. 30-minute didn't even do the breakout. So yeah, even the 1 hour broke the 1 hour low. Oh, gold. Gold is breaking above this area. Impulse entry.
Look at that on GJ.
What? Oh, I just looked away and then let's take a look at the 5 minute. Yeah, see, exactly what we just said with the 5 minute.
That 5 minute thing, yeah.
Yeah, so let's wait and see how this closes. Yeah, literally just discussed that 5 minute. Candle comes down, next one reciprocates. But at the same time, we don't know yet. We're not sure yet. I mean, I don't know if there's enough range at this point either. There's not really enough range. But it's still interesting to see, you know, so we'll wait. That was it. That was kind of mad, to be fair. Because if that does go bullish, then this whole move down was a liquidity grab, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You know. Yeah, GJ playing us. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, oh, so it's come all the way up, and now it's retracing back below. Got to stay disciplined, guys. So important. Look at this. Now it's coming right back down. How does that make sense? How does it go to flip bullish to then... Man, look at that 5 minute. Awful close. Awful close. Let's see what GU did. GU, same thing. 30-minute closed above. Next one came down. It didn't break the low, but it still come down right to this area. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. It broke the low of the 15-minute candle. Simply exact same 5-minute structure. Looks like EN is trying to break below the support over here. If it does, I think it can continue moving bearish to the bottom of this area here. It's like 20 pips away. I think this weekend's simulation is either going to be on gold or EN. I think EM will be a good one. Yeah, I think either way, let's say this 15-minute candle closes exactly where it is. If you wait for a nice support bullish candle, then I think the buys make perfect sense. You know, to retest this high and continue on at that point. If I'm looking for a second trade, that's all I'm looking for right now. But I want strong confirmation for that. If I'm going to take a second trade. Because right now, I had a break even and I'm done for the minute. Let's take the weekly here for a sec. Let's hide all of our analysis and let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, man. See, the weekly played out exactly how I anticipated it to play out. based off the higher time frames. Yeah, I think that one of the reasons why we're having some issues is because we rejected this area last time. So we're kind of entering into, you know, a little bit of a zone right now. But at the same time, I'm thinking, you know, because since obviously we got Brexit done, and from a fundamental perspective, at this particular time, we didn't have the buyers in the market to continue this move. So I'm wondering if we do this week, and then tomorrow's candle should push us right through this zone. And then we should reach somewhere within this vicinity here. Oh, I don't want that. I want this. We should reach somewhere within this vicinity. So I think 143 should be incoming, even today, maybe tomorrow, but that's what we're kind of looking at here. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, see on the daily, we have a zone over here that we should reach, which is around, yeah, so we're looking at around 143 should be reached if we're going to continue this move up. Thanks, bro. Can we enter the trade? There's no trade right now. Candle is bearish. If you're looking for buys, you must wait for a bullish candle. So if you look at price now, it's got 5 seconds left to close. It's closing bearish, but it is closing above this support that was created in pre-London. So now, since it's doing that, there's a couple of things that can happen. The first thing is obviously it can still continue moving bullish, although it looks very difficult to do so. And the reason why it can is because if it creates a support over here, if you take a look at the 5 minute now, if we start to create support, if we start to come back up to this area with bullish candles, then I think we can continue moving up. We can retest this high, but you need to see a candle close bullish, because, you know, as it stands, we could still easily come back in the range. So I'm thinking at least one 15-minute candle's got to close bullish in this area for the buys to even make sense. Otherwise, if this candle just runs up, you need to understand that it's probability. You can get in on the 5 minute, but you know, that's a very risky style of entry. You know, plus it's going to require a lot more experience. And I can even tell you now that I'm not even experienced enough yet to take entries based off the 5 minutes. Something that I'm slowly, gradually working towards. But it's not, you know, it's a marathon, not a race. So, like I say, I discussed the idea on the 5 minutes, something I've been looking at recently. It tried to do that, but couldn't. So now we have to wait for like stronger confirmations at this point. So yeah, a nice 15-minute close could potentially be a good move to retest this high, but we're not really sure. Gotta wait, because the 30 minute candle is still open. So if the 30-minute closes back in the range, there's no buys. There's no sells, because price is back in the range. So it makes everything a lot harder. The daily could push down to make, you know, like a more of a bottom wick, do like a retest. So we was anticipating in the morning that price would continue up, but now since we're pulling back, we're coming back in the range, we don't really know. You know, we could have London push us down and then NY push us all the way back up again. But that NY session yesterday was amazing. We discussed this whole bullish move on the stream yesterday, and we were talking about buys above 141,700 would make sense. Like, as long as price can stay above 141,700, you know, it should continue bullish. I think this area right over here was a great opportunity for some buys in this zone here once price was breaking above these highs, right? Because then at that point we would continue this move bullish based on the 4-hour time frame. You also had, you know, support formed over here, price moved further up, price broke the highs over here and continued moving up. It just was a beautiful, beautiful move. I sat there afterwards. I was like, man, why didn't I execute on that? It was almost like I knew it was going to head up if we stayed above 141.700. I should have executed on that, but I'd already taken a win. So yeah, I'm not quite, again, like, you have to realize your comfortability. And sometimes when I've just taken a win, you know, sometimes I don't want to risk it. There's other times I have. There's other times I've taken 2 wins in a day. But most of the time, I don't have the confidence yet to, you know, execute twice in 2 different sessions as well. Because then I don't want to have profit, lose the profit, and then be like, man, I had profit and I lost it on another session that I don't trade. So, yeah. But yeah, no, either way, like, these moves, they happen over and over again. So you just got to recognize how you could have caught this. We discussed the whole 4-hour plan, how the 4-hour would, you know, go bullish, what it was, what, you know, what kind of happened. So everything was explained, and then this will make sense. If you take a look at the 15-minute, the reason why price went bullish, if you take a look at the 15, we had consolidation. We had a candle breaking out to the downside, right? So price should have continued down, right? Failed to break the low, and then the next candle went bullish. So when this next candle closed back above this consolidation, as the next candle was breaking the high, that could have been also a good opportunity to enter. And then, you know, that's what left these rejection wicks. And then you can just see nice, clean move. And then this, what happened here, is exactly what happened to us this morning. You know, the candle comes up to break above, retraces, and then the next one creates that push. And then if we look, we create support before price moves up again. So it could be something that can happen right now. On the 15-minute wick break, it was almost exactly 10 pips. Which 15-minute wick? Yeah, I'm not sure right now. We're gonna need to wait. So we've got like 9 minutes left here. Go make some breakfast here soon. Minute candle trying to move up. Let's take a look on the 5-minute. 5-minute trying to break above this like minor consolidation, but you need the candles to close. The thing with the 5-minute is, while the 5-minute candles are still open, it's so risky. So, you know, for this 5-minute structure, you need candles to close. But I'm gonna wait to see how the 15-minute candle closes anyway. Because I just don't like how much we've pulled back, to be completely honest. It's too deep of a liquidity grab for me to believe that we should continue this whole move and break past this high. I think we've hit a bit of a barrier for the moment. But we'll see. Oh, the bullish move before. Yeah, you could have entered in here, but then, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Just, you know, we didn't know how much this candle was going to push up. Ooh, right back in the range at this point. Yeah, don't think there's no buys anymore. No buys, no sells right now. No nothing. Ooh, we've broken the low on the 15-minute. Yeah, we're right back in the range at this point. See, this is a good, I think this is a good lesson for a lot of people, because at the end of the day, right, you can have a bias. All the higher time frames can be screaming at you to move bullish or move bearish. But on the smaller time frames, things like this can happen so easily. And what you need to understand is that it's not about if you're 100% sure that, you know, price is going to continue up. It's not about that you think the higher time frames will prevail. You know, you need to read the candles. You need to understand the price action. You need to understand the way in which price moves. So, you know, I know a lot of people would have held these buys because they were just so convinced it was heading up to 142,700, and it just didn't. It just didn't, and that it just is what it is. And you know, trust me, I've been there holding these positions because you truly believe, but you know, you just have to look at what you see. But yeah, I think those who was in buys like Kelsey did really well to get out with such a small loss. You know, and whoever else got in buys. But, you know, for people that held or took buys and then re-entered on the close, when we discussed, you know, London Open can pull back quite heavy. You know, it wasn't the best of ideas. So since we're back in the range at this point, I think I'm going to go make a nice drink. I think I need a little drink. So, yeah, look at this. I think we're going to return to like 142.300. But I think good sells would be below 142.300 for sure. Yeah, it's only like a 9-pip range. We'll put that down over here. Sells below 142.300. Oh, we've tapped into somewhere. Now we're retracing. Interesting. Man, imagine if this candle goes bullish in the last 30 seconds. Yeah, it's going to close back in the range at this point. Okay, I'm going to go make a drink quick. I'll be back in around 5-10 minutes. I'll just pop it in the chat there for anybody. Right, let me put some stream music on in a sec. I'll get some stream music up. You know how we do. You know how we do. Lovely little banger. Right. Yeah, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, guys. Bear with me.
trying to get through to you, break and make you follow everything you wanted. Go, just see how far you've really come. Wake up, baby, feel the sun. I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying to break you out of your own mind. I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. Let's go back to being 17 before we lost it. I know you've been wondering, is this
Yo, Harrison, are you here? Yo, Harrison.
time to end the ride. Fading it too slowly. Were those gonna lift me up this time? You were the only one who got me tripping up inside. All the words you told me, am I reading something different from your eyes? See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. I see you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. Now I'm finally right here with you. Now I'm finally right here with you. Voice is getting nearer, heart is pumping, thoughts are running wild. We got a good thing going, while we gotta feel amplified. Staying till the morning, countless hours spending by your side. You look at me, I'm soaring, seeing all the truth behind your eyes. See you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. I see you, for a moment even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. Now I'm finally right here with you. Now I'm finally right here with you. Your voice is getting nearer, heart is pumping, thoughts are running wild. We got a good thing going, while we gotta feel amplified. Staying till the morning, countless hours spending by your side. You look at me, I'm soaring, seeing all the truth behind your eyes.
I wanna go to a place where I can feel the rain again. I wanna reach the mountain where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble.
Okay.
The ground, I leave it all behind. And I can see the horizon.
So it seems as though we're coming back above the 142, 485 level now at this point. Let's take a look on the 1 hour.
Yo, Harrison.
Yo, yo.
How are you, man?
Yeah, good. How are you?
That's good, man. Thank you. I was just checking your trade earlier on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you ever think to do a re-entry when it broke the previous candle's high?
Not really, just because, I mean, I wasn't sure whether we would have enough range, but, I mean, it could have been a possibility. It did run like 10 pips, to be fair, but I think at the time, because I left like 25% open, it just made sense just for me to hold it and then secure back like the whole loss and just come out with break even, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it could have made sense. It's just, I don't know.
But I guess if the wick was smaller, you would have entered, I guess.
Yeah, if it wasn't such a long rejection, like if it was somewhere over here, it would have made more sense. There would have been more range, but in theory, like the 15-minute and the 30-minute, you know, they close back in the range. So to add a position without a stronger confirmation is something that I just try and avoid. Something that like hasn't, in the long run, just doesn't work out a lot. You know, a lot of times I've had to add a position. I've added positions, and then, you know, the whole trade ends up losing again. So you just end up almost risking more than you would have done normally. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, but today's been pretty tough. I mean, it just, you know, we really anticipated the buys to work out. The candle, you know, came into profits, then closed in the range, had to manage the trade, and then the next candle, just with no confirmation, just pushed straight out to exactly where we anticipated, moved around 18 pips, and then yeah, now we just came back in the range, and now we're coming back above the range. Like, yeah, it's pretty volatile today.
Yeah. So it was a great day, man. It was a great risk management day.
Yeah, that's true.
Even would you look to take another entry for London session?
I mean, potentially. I want to see something, you know, a bit more like structured, because right now this is just, it's a bit messy for me to want to, you know, take anything. So I don't know, if we start to consolidate for a bit and then we start to maybe like break above this area, I don't know, coming into pre-New York or something like that, that's probably going to be better, because then we can anticipate 142.700 to get reached, and then a continuation. But right now, when I see this kind of like structure going on, I tend to just stay out and just wait for a bit.
Yeah, it's risky.
Yeah.
I was just trying to ask, like, would you take 2 trades within London session, or you go 1 break even and then you get to the next session if you want?
Well, so literally from the weekend, I decided that I wanted to keep it more like 1 trade a day, because I found that a lot of times when I give trades a second chance, the second entry loses more than the second entry winning. So I just found that from like a probabilities perspective, the second trade is probably best to stay out of and then wait for the next session. But since I had a break even, I mean, like, if something really nice does present, you know, I could take it. But like right now, I'm not liking anything. You know, if this candle, let's say it never done a fake out and it created this support above this range, I'd be like, okay, yeah, now we're getting stronger confirmations, we could continue. But I just, yeah, I'm not really liking this at the moment.
Yeah.
You know. So. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
No worries. The other thing as well is when I see London session move a bit dirty like this, it just puts me off trading that rest of the session, to be honest. Because I just find that when the London session moves really clean, you know, you can see like 2-3 entries that would work. But when it doesn't move very well, you know, that second entry that you think's gonna work out, it just you know, it just fucks you. So you're just like, what do? You know? So it's just probably best to, when you see this kind of dirty price action, probably just stay out of it, to be honest. But yeah, but we had the right bias. I mean, everything was correct. You know, going all the way from the weekly down to the smaller time frames, you know, everything was bullish. We was really anticipating, you know, this wick to get filled. You know, so we go weekly, daily's bullish, weekly's bullish, 4 hour was bullish, you know, but it had created previous support. 1 hour was also bullish. So everything was bullish. So when everything's bullish, you know, price is going to continue. But this was one of those situations. I mean, if I really want to be really technical, then where I could have re-entered or added a position was based on this 5 minute. But this is something I'm not doing, you know, for a while, because it requires like a lot more experience. It's a lot more risky. So I just want to kind of see it happen a lot of times. But if I was to enter in a trade based on the 5 minute, it would have been somewhere over here, because obviously this was the pullback on the 15, and then we just had this one big 5 minute candle which closed above this whole consolidation. You know, so now you would expect the next one, once we start to break these highs, to continue. So that could have worked, but at the same time, you know, I just want to keep looking at that over time and then, you know, see where it goes.
Yeah, and just another question. So you trade only GJ, you wouldn't look at another pair that is having a better setup?
Sometimes I trade other pairs, but mainly I want to stick to GJ. The other thing as well is like, see, like today, right? This was a good probability trade. Didn't play out. The last thing I want to do is take my one trade on another pair, which I'm not 100% confident on. Like, if I'm going to take a trade, like maybe even say EJ, it has to be something I've seen happen and like it works out pretty much like every time. So when people on the stream, when they see me in EJ sells or EJ buys or GCAD or gold, they know that means that, you know, that's very high probability. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in the trade. So
Yeah.
usually 9 times out of 10 that's going to play out. I think once it didn't, but I put my stops at break even like fairly quick, and it moved like 9 pips and then pulled all the way back. So, and then it actually reversed, so I did get out. But yeah.
Yeah, no, my question was just, you know, if GJ ranges and you don't like it and you see another pair, like, would you go for it? Or would you just trade for the day?
Probably just not trade for the day. It's unless it's so at the moment what I'm gonna try and do is get to a point where I can have another pair that I do trade on a regular basis as well. But there hasn't been a pair out of all the ones that I watch that moves as consistent as GJ. That's why I would probably just want to wait for GJ to do its thing.
Yeah, what about gold?
Gold's good, but in the London session, most of the time, there's not a lot of volume. Like, I'd say maybe 2 out of the 5 days during the week, you'll see a big, a good move. But the problem with gold is obviously stop losses are always going to be big. The other thing as well is quite volatile. Impulse entries don't work as much because of that volatility. But when you get a nice confirmation on gold, I mean, yeah, you can take a nice trade. Back in like 2018, 2019, I traded gold in the London session, and it was just moving so well. But I haven't seen it move like that for a while, actually. But yeah, no, I think gold is probably best in the NY session. To be completely honest.
Nice one.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Do you trade order blocks, FVGs, ICT stuff? No, I don't trade any of that. Just pure price action, man. So we've got like 52 minutes left for the 4 hour. See, I don't like the price action, but at the same time, I mean, it still can continue bullish since we're closing back above this area, but it's just so messy. You know, like, it doesn't make sense why it did all this move down. But See what GU's doing. So GU, see GU's just in the range. It's just ranging. I think GU could continue moving bearish as we surpass these lows over here. So GU and GJ, they pretty much, not from a price action perspective, but the candles, they're very similar candles during the London session. So usually when GJ is moving bearish, GU will move bearish during London. But that's because they're both influenced by the, just solely pushed by the pound. Obviously US isn't quite open yet. I mean, look at it now, man. It's just dirty. And sometimes they put some really crap songs on. Yeah, if we surpass this 15-minute low, then man, the buy is just, price action is so messy right now. Euro NZD also consolidating over here. Okay, let's check out this chart. Do you think we might break up or down back into the range? 2 secs. let's take a look at this chart. Okay, ooh, a lot of stuff here. So it's GJ 30-minute time frame. So I don't know, to start, let's go with over here. So safer buys if break and retest of 142.500 to squeeze to 142.800. Yeah, I think it could play out, but I mean, if you look at the price action now, like we're closing back in this well, where your red line is, we're closing back in this consolidation, and yeah, it's just, I think it's just pretty dirty, and I think the buys just become very difficult at this point, you know, like but yeah, I definitely agree with, so safer sells break and close below 142.200 to 142 next support level. Yeah, I would even say this 142.300 back below this previous consolidation. So back over below yeah, back below 142.300 is going to be better, because selling into this range is just kind of like dirty, plus there's not really enough range. It's like 8-9 pips, so I think the best sells are going to be below 142.300, because you have like 14 pip range at that point, and then you have another like 15 pips. Safer buys, we create support and create a wick above 142 to push up, pull back is grabbing liquidity for impulsive move to push. Yeah, I mean, I think 142 as a level, you know, if we do create some support there, we can continue higher, but yeah, I think you need to wait for like something maybe similar to yesterday, where, you know, London kind of pushed us down, right, and then we established support to start moving back up. So even if London pushes down, and let's say we reach 142, and then we start to create support and we start looking, you know, to break the highs, then you could anticipate the down move would get corrected and then a retest of the high. But yeah, I'm not really sure at the moment. It's just kind of messy stuff. I mean, look at the 15-minute time frame. Just, yeah, just disgusting price action. Yeah, see, this is one of the days where I just think, you know, it's probably best to preserve capital until it starts to create structure which we recognize and looks kind of clean. Then it doesn't really make sense to, you know, look for a trade right now. It looks like a FRQ candle breaking back into the range. Yeah, yep. I mean, look, previous 1 hour candles closed above, right? So I mean, from a close perspective, like, it makes sense for this current 1 hour candle. It could go bullish and retest this high, like it could, because, you know, this candle closed above this area. So if the next one's respecting the low over here, it can continue moving up. But then you have to say, okay, well, this was the area we rejected. So it makes, the thing is you got to measure, right? You got to look at, okay, from this up to here is like 9 pips, 8 pips. So not really enough range. Plus, we could reject from this area 142.600 at any point. You know, like once we tap into it, it could just retrace. The other thing as well is there's no guarantee that it's going to come up to this area. But I'm just basing it off the previous 1 hour. But then as we go to our smaller time frames, it just gets messier and messier. I mean, the 15-minute is just you know, so if we, same idea from a 15-minute perspective, you would need a close above this area. You need candles to be surpassing this minor resistance, and then this would be your next target, right? But yeah, I'm staying out. But I was gonna say, A-Rod or A.Rod. This is a great labeled chart. I think it's very good. You got all your levels plotted out. You've identified, you know, the areas of consolidation. So I think it's pretty good. But yeah. Oh man, I need to get the gyms open. I need the gyms open.
Wonder when they're actually going to open. Could be a while.
Oh man, I don't even know. I mean, oh, so you know, obviously, I said about Boris went and sneakily done it to July, the lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last night I got an alert to say he's extended that till September.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's check if that's true, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's 8 months away. How can you put that in place now?
That would be impossible.
Well, hang on. Let me see. I want to. Oh, is he pleading for it or has he done it? We want UK. Let's try this one. Boris faces major rebellion as he pleads for 6-month extension. So did he do it or not? Why did I read he did it?
Means he's just mentioning it before he does it.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. No, but it came up as an alert. Lockdown has been extended till September. So I was like, there must be. Let's do latest lockdown updates. There must be like a little up down. Oh god, here we go. More. I didn't say anything. Let's go view all. I don't know. Fuck knows. Oh, they're gonna do it anyway, let's be honest.
What I saw was about New Zealand, that they are planning to close the borders till for the whole rest of the year.
Yeah.
Just because they got one case.
It's crazy, man. Just nuts. I mean, we were talking about it the other day, like when somebody, I think it was like a family in New Zealand caught it, they were all forced to go into like a quarantine camp. They literally got dragged out of their house. They weren't even allowed to quarantine their own house because they couldn't be trusted. Like, she wanted to make sure that they didn't spread it to nobody else. I mean,
Same, exactly the same like in UK.
yeah. It's mad. Will be months for gyms opening. Yeah, it's gonna be a long while, but it's just the most. I don't even want to start ranting about it, but it is the most stupid logic. You know, it really is. In the Netherlands, we have an evening clock. There are riots across the country every day, stealing cop cars or putting them on fire. Yeah, I've seen some videos of the riots in Amsterdam. Well, I suppose people are just getting sick of it. Like, it's been a fucking year. Like, you know, think about it, yeah? I was sitting there thinking about it the other day. Like, there was Boris on New Year's Eve giving it, 2021, a clean slate, a new year. And I'm like, man, we're gonna be in lockdown for practically more of 2021 than we was in 2020 if this continues. It's just crazy. We ain't. Oh, man. But yeah, looks like GJ's trying to break up over here. But summer cases will drop. Gotta get the home workouts done. Yeah, I'm doing home workouts at the moment, but I mean, it's not quite the same, is it? You know, there's nothing more than like, I love to get the stream done, have some lunch, go down to the gym, hit the gym, you know, smash out the punch bag, all of that good stuff. It's just annoying. Can't do that.
At the end of last year, I know I've got my home gym, but I was considering going back to the gym just because, like, the atmosphere and that, like, it's a lot better in it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, because one of the reasons I love going to the gym is just the atmosphere. Like, not just that, it gets you out of the house. You know, it's that little bit of like fresh air. You know, like I like to go on a little, you know, little walk down to the gym, so it's a nice bit of fresh air, and then get in there, smash it out, and then you feel great. You know, it makes you feel good, but you can't even do that. It just makes no sense. I was watching these people in hotel camps in London. I was watching they're taking people into. Oh yeah. And the thing is, they're doing this now for one reason, and I can tell you why they're doing this. Because what's gonna happen is, when they start vaccinating, obviously, like the over 50s and stuff, these people are gonna want to go away. You know, everyone's gonna want to go on holiday, so they're gonna say, obviously, if you go away, you got to quarantine when you get back. You know, and then obviously now you got Spain saying, oh, because most Brits go to Spain, right? Now you got Spain saying, well, we're not going to accept any Brits into their country until they're like 70% vaccinated. You know, and why would they say that? Because it doesn't matter how much of the population is vaccinated. The only people who need to be vaccinated are those who are vulnerable or those who want to be. And if you don't want to be, then that's it. See, if they start making a deal about this vaccination, then I'm afraid, I don't know, man, maybe all these conspiracy theories are true. Like, it makes no sense. It's like, so I read something the other day, and it was like, imagine being forced to take a vaccine for a virus you have to get tested to know you have it. You know, and then I did actually sit there and I was like, shit, that's a really good point. You know, if there's only one time they should force vaccination onto the human race, and that's when the human race is at risk. You know, as a race, like, we could be wiped out by a virus. But this ain't the case. It's not the case. Peaky Blinders set is a vaccination location. Oh, nice. To be fair, I've heard about Peaky Blinders so many times, but I've never ever sat down and watched an episode. But it's meant to be really good. One world order starting. Yeah, I think that's probably already been around anyway. So it looks like GJ has got 2 minutes left for this 30-minute counter to close. It's looking like it wants to break this high right over here. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. 15-minute also coming to a close. Man, London session's been messy. Only yesterday was good. Monday was no good. Today is also no good. Really good. Yeah, I've heard Peaky Blinders is good. If I was to say my favorite like TV program, maybe like along the same lines, it's got to be Narcos, man. Can't beat Narcos.
See Narcos, then they have the new one called Narcos Mexico.
Yes, I've watched like a few episodes of that one, but for me, I just don't think you can beat the one Colombia. It's just the storyline is just so gripping.
It is, but the thing is, in Narcos Mexico, you have the actors from Narcos coming in. Now, you know, when Mexico gets connected with actually the Narcos and stuff, so you have Pablo and you have all the actors again.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I think I got like the first few episodes of the first season. I think I got it where, because he was the guy who's like the head one. He was, I always forget their names, but I remember the ones from Narcos like very well because I got quite engaged with that one. But the one in Mexico, I think he was like an ex-police officer, and then him and a load of other Mexicans, they start distributing obviously marijuana, and then when they realize that, you know, all the competitors are doing in Colombia are doing cocaine, and they're making, you know, 10 times the amount for the same like process and the same physical amount of storage and stuff, and that's when they realize, you know, they need to up the game.
Yeah, it's a very nice one, man. You should watch it. First episode a little bit boring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a summer holidays job, that one.
Bro, it's amazing, you know. And the other one, have you watched El Chapo?
No, I haven't watched El Chapo.
That's maybe competing with Narcos, you know.
Really?
Yeah. It's El Chapo became much bigger than the Narcos. He became, like, I think he distributed 80% of the world in something.
Oh shit.
But he was in the Narcos. He's also on Narcos Mexico in both those because he was around them. So he's also acting in both those series. And then he's having a series about himself, and he's still alive, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's in prison.
That's sick,
Yeah,
man. I need to give that one a watch then.
It's crazy good, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, I love all that type of stuff. You know, I like Narcos. I thought Breaking Bad was wicked. You seen Breaking Bad?
Nah, I never watched that. No.
Oh man, that is. I know there's some people who definitely watch Breaking Bad because that's wicked. It's basically about this You know, have you seen Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the dad who plays Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the main guy in this, and he's a chemistry teacher. Anyway, he gets diagnosed with like cancer or something, and he's got maybe like a year to live, but he can't afford the treatment, you know, for the chemotherapy or whatever. And he bumps into this school kid that he taught in class, and he's obviously left school, and he saw him like doing like a crystal meth deal or something. And anyway, they get chatting, and he tells him how he like creates crystal meth or whatever. So the science teacher says, look, I know the chemistry, I know how to make it, let's do it so I can make money to pay back, to pay off my you know, his illness or whatever, for his treatment. But along the way, like, they deal with some right rough characters, and it's just really good. Honestly, I'd say that's probably one of the best TV programs ever made. I'd say that Narcos is up there. Game of Thrones, you watch Game of Thrones?
I haven't.
Oh, Game of Thrones is another one, man. Game of Thrones is awesome.
See, Game of Thrones, they say it's good. I mean, I like movies like Narcos and stuff like that because they give you like real world experience, you know?
Yeah.
You can grow up with 10 years if you watch that 2 times, for example.
Yeah.
Also, you know, Narcos is good. I watched also. Have you watched what was it, Ghost?
No, I haven't seen Ghost. No, I haven't seen that.
But have you heard of it?
Is that the one? Power, is it called?
Yeah, Power. Yeah,
Oh,
Power.
yeah. Sorry, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Bro, that's one that beats a lot of them. Like very very good one.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. See, that's what. That's the. Is that on Netflix, isn't it?
It was. I can't find it now. I don't know what happened with it.
Oh no, they used to have it. I know they used to have it on Netflix because I always used to see it come up on my suggested.
Yeah. The thing is, 50 Cent is the creator of that one, and he also acts after I think the first season and stuff.
Oh,
But it's a
wicked.
very very interesting one. Like they start, they have nightclubs and stuff, so they also do, they're in the powder business and stuff like that. Very interesting.
Yeah, man. That sounds good. I have to give that one a watch.
Bro, you watch the first one only, and you can't stop it. Very good one.
Yeah, that's the problem though. Once you watch one, like you want to keep watching them, and then before you know it, it's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You see the people you're gonna see in these movies, you can't see them nowadays, man. There's so quality. Like they say something, they go and do it. They don't sell each other. They don't rat. It's very hard to find nowadays.
yeah,
People-
yeah. They don't really make good programs really anymore.
It's not just the programs, man. The people. If you
Yeah.
get into business with people, they always look how to steal from you and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
See, Breaking Bad, I never watched it because of the actor. Like he's been a comedy actor all that time, so I don't know if he's good at the other thing.
Oh no, honestly, I think if you watch Breaking Bad, you would love it. I mean, the best bit about it is the guy. So the guy who I said is the teacher who creates the crystal meth. His brother-in-law, so his wife's brother, is a DEA agent, and he's like the head of the DEA, and he's like constantly trying to take out crystal meth dealers and growers. So the whole time he's telling him all this information, like, oh yeah, we're trying to find this guy who's growing all this crystal meth, and it's like a blue color, and he said we've never seen it before, but it's him. Do you know what I mean? And he's sitting there like having dinner with this guy who's his brother-in-law, and he has no idea, and it's just it's brilliant. I think you'd watch. I think you'd like Breaking Bad, 100%.
So why is it Peaky Blinders or Breaking Bad for me next then?
Yeah, true. Or you just do it both if you got the time. If you got the time. Yeah. Seems like we're having a bit of a volume issue here with GJ. But it did break the high of the previous 30-minute candle. So yeah, it can continue bullish, but I'm just not liking this price action whatsoever. It seems like we had some issues at the 600 level. Colombia, absolutely amazing. I never watched series, but that was gripping. Yeah, no. Narcos, Colombia is good. Yeah, it's very good. Just wanted to say, don't forget Game of Thrones. Oh no, you can't forget. See, Game of Thrones isn't like a reality. Like it's not, but it's the storyline that makes it amazing in the sense that, like, there's so much going on. It's not like there's no one main character. Like there's so many different characters, and you kind of like, I don't know, you kind of like fall for certain characters in the sense who you kind of like, and then they end up dying, and then you're like, what? And it's like, it's just so unpredictable. Like, if you think of most films, right? If you see a character at the start and he's your typical hero, he's gonna survive. You already know the ending. You already know this guy is gonna be alive at the end of the film. They can try and make out he's not gonna make it, but you already know he is. But with Game of Thrones, you don't know who's gonna die. Literally, anyone you think, oh nah, he's gonna be alright. This geezer's a warrior, mate. he's gone. So that's what makes it so good, because it's so unpredictable.
It's interesting. It's more like a fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's 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 kind of weird. Like, there's all these weird creature things, but in terms of like some of the battles are just incredible. If you're into like gory battles and medieval stuff, then Game of Thrones is the one for you, 100%.
Is it like, have you watched the movie 300?
Yes, I've seen 300.
Is it like kind of the same?
I wouldn't say it's the same, but it's like, it's similar in the sense that it's quite gory. It's very action packed. There's a lot of wars in it, you know, but it's the storyline. It's the because it's like 7 seasons, and I can honestly say I was gripped throughout the whole 7 seasons. But I'd say it got, see, most programs, right? I mean, I used to watch a program called The Walking Dead. You ever seen The Walking Dead?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh, right. So the thing about The Walking Dead is obviously about zombies, right? Now, the first season was excellent, was absolutely excellent. Absolutely loved it. Second season was great. Third season was good. And by the 4th season, it just was average. Then it just started getting boring, because it just was like, you can't drag out zombies forever. But with Game of Thrones, I would say it went in the opposite. It started off good. Second season got better. Third season was great. And then from about the 3rd season, it just got so good. I mean, it just finished off. Like, I even was so disappointed. I have to admit, when I watched the final episode of Game of Thrones, I was like, almost felt like, what do I do now? Like, it's my favorite show, and there's no more to watch. But yeah, that's why I liked it as well, because it just carried on getting better and better. Honestly, it did. But yeah, I'd say in terms of like goriness, 100% is similar to 300. I mean, some serious battles in there, and they don't hold back with, you know, I suppose some of the realities of like medieval times, you know, like there's some harsh scenes, we'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's anybody that took buys over here, man, I think it's probably the best idea to stay out for the minute. I'm personally not liking this, because I've seen this happen before, where we get this 1 hour close right in 19 minutes, and it closes like a weak 1 hour, and the next one just comes down and fills these wicks. But yeah, see how this 15-minute candle closes.
Are you gonna be joining the New York session, bro?
Probably not. Nah. I call it a day around like 10:30, and then, you know, because I've taken my trade today, then no. But sometimes, let's say like London completely ranged, then I would come back at like NY and be like, okay, have we broken out now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in this particular case, I mean, if I'm still on the charts and I see prices closing above 142,600, then yeah, in a sense we could look for further upside. But I mean, yeah, it seems as though it is pushing up at this point. I don't know if anybody got into buys, but it is coming up to retest this high at this over here now. But it's just how it's going to react in this area.
If it closes above that line up there, seems like a good entry. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, the issue is we've got 17 minutes for the 30-minute. So yeah, you could miss this push up if it does move up. Yeah. But what a messy price action morning though. Super messy. Let's see what GU's doing, see if it's doing something similar. And then GU's just ranging at this point. Euro NZD. Oh wow, look at that, came right down to this area. because we're coming up to the close on the 4 hour. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. See, okay, so maybe this is why, because we actually had a 4 hour resistance over here. Seems as though that's what we had some issues with. I could have saw us. I don't think I spotted that. Yeah, interesting. Maybe that's why we had some issues. I could have swore that wasn't there. Yeah, that kind of makes sense then, because then we did react to that 4 hour resistance. So, yeah.
Harrison. I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, see you, mate. Take care, yeah? See you in the morning. Oh, well, we got a few people in the group actually on the Zoom. I don't know if anybody's on the mic or anything, but I was talking to Salim last night, and I was saying how what I want to do is on Sundays we do the weekly breakdown together. So like a Zoom webinar, and then what I can do, obviously I can record it for those who can't make it, but effectively we can make the webinar a lot longer, you know, so we can actually go through. So usually when I do my weekly breakdown, you know, I go through the time frames and we just mark out our key levels, etc. But what I'd like to do is, you know, really like take a step back, look at the bigger picture, look at the 4 hour, look at the way the zones have been moving, you know, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I think that would be I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. What time are you thinking? Do you reckon I'll do that?
Probably Sunday early evening would be ideal. I know some people, you know, it's going to be like, you know, times and stuff is going to be difficult, but I want to try and find a time that suits obviously me and the majority, and then it's going to be easier. Obviously I can't do it too late on a Sunday because, you know, we want people to be able to watch it prepared. So it could even be Saturdays. Saturdays is still good because, you know, I know that gives people a whole day on Sunday to watch the you know, the webinar if they didn't get to watch it. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a think about it from now till Friday, and then we'll sort it out for this weekend. But I think it'll be good because then if anybody has any input at the end or any questions, you know, and in general, what I've realized is with the weekly levels, it's really good as well to take a look at the previous week and the way in which price reacted to certain points, you know, and almost like planning for what could potentially happen again. So I think that would be really good to go into more depth. Yeah, 100%, George. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. The other thing as well is we're gonna be back doing the simulation sessions from this week. Last weekend was a bit of a, I didn't really like know what time I could do it, and then yeah, ended up not being able to. So yeah, back this weekend we'll do sims. We're gonna do that weekly Zoom for the weekly breakdown. Obviously I'll have to try and keep it time limited so that we don't run over. But what I'll do is I'll do recordings of the actual part where we're breaking down, and then, you know, if we're just discussing stuff, we can just leave that out so we can make sure we have enough space to upload it onto the Discord for everybody else. Otherwise I'd have to upload it onto the course, and I think that's bit aggro to like go on there for like a weekly outlook, you know. So yeah, this at the same time, you know, as this candle was coming down, like looking back, could have executed buys to like retest this high, could have made sense, but at the same time, like I didn't really want to risk it. You know, if we look at the 15-minute, it was such messy price action. We've now hit that area. We're now rejecting, which is exactly what I was worried about. This area over here, we can see we tapped up into it now, retracing and rejecting. So I think it's a good idea to have stayed out of this. But for anybody that, you know, wondered how they could have caught the retest of the high, I suppose once this, well, I mean, I did actually speak about this. You know, we did say, okay, once the 15-minute candle closes above this area, then we can continue bullish. So I suppose you could have taken entries, you know, somewhere over here, down over here, and then this would be your profit taking area. But then, you know, just one of those things, like it's either gonna play out or it's not gonna play out. But for a Wednesday, it's been dreadful price action, I have to say. Absolutely dreadful price action. How's it going, Ibs? Just seen you.
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Yeah, how's it going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, all good, thanks. I was in this morning. I caught the buys 10 pips.
Oh, beautiful. Did you leave it open then?
No, I did close partials, but as it like rebroke the high, I sort of added.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
So, yeah.
That's good, man. That's perfect. I think looking back, I think it was a good idea, but my issue was, was there enough range to do it like that? I suppose there was, really, wasn't there? There was enough range. But then my issue was, yeah, I suppose it could have made sense actually, thinking about it. Because this candle, it tapped into that minor area that we always was worried about with volume. So I was saying, okay, well, we should break that volume. So when it rejected it, if we broke that high, then yeah, do you know what you just said just kind of made me realize probably should have added a position there. Would have made sense.
Yeah, I was just thinking like I think it was going like, I think the way you put it, like if it has no reason to break the low. If it does, then, you know, to close partials. But then when it was breaking the high again, I thought, okay, cool. So perhaps maybe the same could apply the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a good idea actually, looking back.
But what you were saying about the weekly roundup though, yeah, that's cool. I'm good Saturday, Sunday, anytime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes things easier. When someone's like, I'm free anytime, I'm like, okay, perfect. So I know I haven't got to, you know, be more selective. But I know certain people, obviously, they're gonna be busier at certain times and stuff. So I think I prefer doing weekly outlooks on like Sundays. I prefer doing like sims on Saturdays. So that's why I think that's the road we're gonna go down. But we'll see, because if Sunday evening, you know, not a lot of people are going to be able to make it, I don't really want people to miss out on, you know, that knowledge and, you know, I don't want them to come Monday morning and be like, oh, I didn't watch the weekly, you know. So maybe it's better to do it the other way around, thinking about it actually. Maybe weekly outlook on a Saturday and then simulation on a Sunday in preparation for the new week. Maybe that's going to be the better way around, thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's what we could do. Because then, even if you miss the weekly, you've got the rest of Saturday, you've got Sunday to watch it before market opens. And then the simulation sessions, I mean, if you miss it, it's not, you know, live market analysis, so you can watch that at any point in your own time.
So if you were to get a candle close above that resistance now, is that a sign to good to go? So you might have gone over it, but I've just rejoined.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I did say if we break above 142.600, I think we can continue on. But there's a couple of issues. My biggest issue is just the way that we moved to start the session. You know, we broke above and then we came back in the range. And as much as I think price can continue up, I don't want to get caught out in a second trade if it starts to run into a drawdown. So probably going to sit this one out, see how it goes. But yeah, I think if we do break above 142,600 and we get a close above, then yes, I would argue at that point we should be good to start to head up. But I just don't want to take a second trade after closing out a break even, you know, with a well-managed trade, and, you know, blow that, you know, discipline. So yeah, I think on this occasion I'll sit out, watch how it goes, and then, you know, I can look at how I could have done better, because in this moment I'm not comfortable taking a second buy. I would have been more comfortable taking sells below like 142,300, because then I think, okay, well, maybe we're going to correct some of this. You know, we could do a deeper retest on the daily. We did a fake out to the upside in London. I know that when that happens, you know, price is good chance is going to continue down. So yeah, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left here for price to close on the 30-minute. But yeah, I think the partial move was this move here, looking back. But it was just so messy, like you had to be really on the ball, and this move here was part of your move. This was your push. So to retest this high on the 30-minute. This is the high on the 30-minute. This range is around 10-11 pips. So I mean, not amazing range, but at the same time, you know, if you were looking for that buy, then this is where your kind of entries would have been taken, and then you're securing positions here, putting stops to break even, and then seeing if we can continue further. But yeah, I think most of the time I'm not gonna take that trade, because it's super messy. A lot of times it cannot work out as well. So, but yeah, let's wait and see how the 30-minute candle closes before we call it a day soon. GU is just ranging at this point. GU is just bad price action. Euro NZD came down to both targets, but very difficultly. Difficultly? Is that a word? Yeah, it was very difficult. It wasn't easy. EJ.
Yeah, is there?
Oh, go on.
Sorry, with that Euro Kiwi potential sell under that.
What, this area here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so, because I think on the daily that would be price. Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that, because if you look as well, seems as though we did a break and retest based on the daily time frame, because we had this consolidation. We broke out, we did a retest, and now we'll continue down. So technically, once we break the daily low, you know, if you were to look at it from a 30-minute perspective, we would say, okay, once we break this low on the 30-minute, we should see a nice push. Same sort of principle. Once we break the daily low, then we know we're making a lower low to the previous daily. So let's take a look on the 4-hour. Yeah, I would agree. I would say Euro NZD is pretty good to continue down. Probably want to see like a little bit of a resistance formed, maybe on like the 15-minute. But yeah, this below this area is going to be good for sells. You have a nice clean range. Let's take a look left, see what range we've got. So we're at this area now. Then we have clean traffic coming down to this support. So we'll measure that in a moment. And then we have further clean candles coming down to this area. And then if we break below that, then we have probably going to be good to this zone. In fact, we'll just do it. We'll be a bit more conservative. Gotta set an example. Oh man, I hate it when it does that. There we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think we can come down to these levels, definitely. So we've got like, 20 pips to the first range. That's beautiful. Then another, 15, 18 pips. Yeah, that's decent ranges on your NZD.
That's good.
Yeah, I think a nice, suppose a nice
Would you want
sell.
to close below that, or just wait for the break and like take a less risk impulse entry?
I mean, I'd say if, say this 15-minute candle closes below, then you could have like an impulse when the next one creates its top wick and then breaks this low, and then you can keep your stop loss somewhere over here, and then as candle starts pushing down, you can start to bring your stop loss above the current candle. I think that could work out really well. Otherwise, I think a good entry could have been this break of this low right over here, but yeah, maybe since we've only got like, what, 50 seconds left, it's probably going to be best to wait for a candle to close below. Let's say it doesn't, then... Oh, beautiful. We had a subscriber there. If it doesn't close below, I think it could maybe do a little bit of consolidation and then continue that down. But there's some heavy bearish momentum at the moment. So, but yeah, Euro NZD looks super good. When it moves well, when it's trending on the daily, on the higher time frames, oh, Euro NZD can move beautifully. Oh yeah, look at this rejection. Look at this rejection. This is why I wanted to stay out of buys. Like, maximum range here was 10 pips. You know, you got lucky that it moved up a little bit to 12. But that's if you got in down over here, because I know most people probably would have got in on this close, and then, you know, price only moved like 7-8 pips. So yeah, I think it was a good decision actually to stay out of these buys. So yeah, we're just ranging at this point. We're just ranging. So just have to wait and see how it plays out. Oh, seems as though we closed above. Yeah, I think you could take an impulse entry. You could take an impulse entry on the break of this low. Stop loss would probably best be above this area to begin. And then as it starts to break further down, that's where you'd start to bring your stop above the current candle. But I would say you wouldn't wait for the break of the low before any sells are taken. Yeah, we'll come back to your NZD.
Nice.
Keep an eye on it. We're gonna probably do a simulation on your NZD this weekend actually.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, do a bit of something different. Something different. Okay. I think we might push pre-New York. Yeah, I think it could push up pre-New York. I think it could. It just needs to. It seems to have some issues at 142.600. So, yeah. We're only getting like 2 good days of price action a week in London session. Yeah. I mean, this week we've had 1 good day of price action out of the 3 so far. But look, as long as you're disciplined, then you can make it work. I mean, I've had 3 trades this week. 1 break even, 1 really small loss, and 1 win. So it's it's about the discipline. I mean, last week just did not go well. I felt a bit ill towards the end of the week, so I didn't even trade on Thursday, Friday, which I could have made, you know, a couple of the trades I had the losses in the early week back, but you know, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to do so. So just kind of writ off as a bad week, fresh start this week. And yeah, but last week price action Monday to Wednesday was absolutely awful. But then I realized for myself, you know, you always got to see how you can be better. You know, never let a loss define you. You know, and I sat there and I said to myself, okay, how am I going to improve? And I looked at my losses and I said, okay, well, I've just realized, you know, a lot of these second trades, you know, given the bias a second chance, a lot of them don't work out. So now I'm trying to stick to just 1 trade a day, and I think that's going to be a lot healthier and better for me in the long run. So if we look at the 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame is created support, right? 1 hour time frame is created support. So I suppose in a sense, right, there's a much higher probability that we can continue moving bullish. But there's 2 things that can happen. First of all, this current 1 hour candle, it can break above the high of the previous 1 hour candle and then continue moving up. Or you can get a 30-minute candle closing above this area, which is obviously going to be the safer option, and then you're expecting the next one to also, you know, wick down and continue to move up, which would be then the current hourly breaking the high anyway. But sometimes it's just going to do that and then continue running. So when people say, oh well, what was the confirmation to say for GJ to continue bullish? Well, once it broke the hourly high, it did the push. So that's the point at which price moved up. Another thing as well, just before I forget. So obviously, I know everyone in the group or everyone on the Zoom call who's here should have access to the trading course. So obviously, I'm not going to announce when webinars are uploaded unless it's like a simulation session or something like that. Obviously, I'll say, right, it's now being uploaded to the database. But just to let you know, like, webinars are just being like trickled through. So, you know, if you come back on a weekly basis, you'll probably see every week, you know, there's a few more added each week. So that's kind of how it's going to be done. So I'm not, you know, at any point there could be a new webinar uploaded, but unless it's something that we've done as a group, then you wouldn't necessarily know about it. So just for those of you who didn't know that, I thought I'd just make that clear. All right, let's check out Euro NZD. Okay, so it hasn't broken the low yet, which is good because then it doesn't mean an impulse entry, which means you're staying out of this drawdown.
Are you done for the day then, H?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be done for the day. I'm probably not looking to take another trade, to be honest. Yeah, probably going to call it a day here soon. Probably like five minutes or so. I just want to see what happens with Euro NZD before we... If it breaks this previous 15-minute high, which is I think it's about to, then I think there's no sells at that point. Well, for the moment anyway, there's no sells. You need to wait for a candle to close below this area. Oh, look at your NZD.
Yeah.
If it breaks the low of the previous 15-minute, I think that could be a really good impulse entry. Keeping the stop loss above both candles. Yeah, so your entry would be right over here, and then your stop loss would want to be above these candles. So let's see how it goes. Let's do like a little paper trade here for you. Ooh, so we'll go entered in. Let's do a little paper trade here for your NZD. Do a little impulse trade, paper trade. Let's do it. So we entered in right over here. Stops would be above the previous candles, and then we would target this support down over here. I think that'd be a really good trade. If this plays out, it'd be a beautiful highlight as well. You know, I haven't actually checked out spreads on your NZD before. No, it's not too bad actually. Same as GJ really. About a pip and a bit. Oh, beautiful. It's moving here already. Wow, look at that. 6-7 pips in the space of what? 3 minutes?
Come on, baby.
So 10 pips would be around 1.67710. So we'll leave that there. Oh wow, what a beautiful move. Space of like a minute, it just dropped straight to like 9 pips at this point. Provided the stop loss, provided the entry, spoke about waiting for this candle to create a top wick. It's about to hit 10 pips over here. Man, I should have got in this trade. No, I'm joking. Paper trade. Experience trade. See, because these moves, they happen all the time. Look at that, 10 pips. 10 pips.
Hanging.
Did you get in that trade?
Yeah, man.
Ah, beautiful. Nice win for you. I said that 2 wins today, Ibs.
2 wins, yeah.
Oh.
To be fair, it's probably been my most disciplined week, and I haven't had a losing trade yet.
Oh, fantastic, man. I'm pleased for you.
Yeah. Usually I end up making my money with you in the morning and then going and spunking it in the afternoons. But I said to myself, no, leave it now. I mean, to be fair, if I were going to stick to myself, then I wouldn't have taken this, but I decreased the risk. I thought, let me just...
Yeah. Well, there you go, man. 11 pips. 11 pips, and then you're putting stops at break even. Maybe letting a portion run. That was beautiful.
Yeah. It's that I keep doing wrong. I keep just closing the full position at 10 pips. I really always forget to just put something to break even and like leave a bit to run.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like that takes time to just slowly get more comfortable. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with closing out at 10 pips. You know, at least it's a consistent winning ratio if you think about it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, but yeah, but now this was a lovely move. Literally, this was like what, 3 minutes, 0 drawdown. What great highlight this will make. Euro NZD sells, beautiful.
That's what we want GJ to move like.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Why can't GJ be like Euro NZD? His cousin. Yeah, see, this is exactly why I was so skeptical of buys, man. How glad I am that I stayed out. See, what's going on, GJ? This is just shit. You need to be more like Euro NZD.
I think it's just going to fuck around until New York.
Yeah. But to be honest, like when the London session's not moving well for like a few weeks, at least we know we're going to get a really good month coming. So that's the fucking time to be making sure that you're on your top game, you know, I suppose. Well, you got to be in your top game all the time, but you know, if you can do well, if you can keep losses small, if you can still be profitable with a bad London session week, then my God, how good can you do when London session is moving 50, 40, 60 pips? Oh my days, you know, you can leave runners run, you can leave higher proportion run, you know, so just be patient with it. You got to stay loyal to your session, to your pair. Although, you know, GJ, we're having some issues with her at the moment. She'll be back. But yeah, Euro NZD, what a beautiful, beautiful trade. Yeah, see, that's why I want to start simulating Euro NZD, couple paper trades like this. You know, I've done this a couple times, getting used to the way it moves. You know, and then these sort of moves here, that could have just, because, you know, GJ's ranging And then, you know, we spot this beautiful impulse entry. Stop loss placement was beautiful. 0 drawdown, straight 10 pips. It just glided as well, you know. GJ would stall, would retrade. It just glided. There was no issues. It was just perfect. But yeah, no, I think London session will start to pick up again soon, probably February, you know. But yeah, look at this now. We're breaking these lows over here. If we come back in the range, what a dirty London session. So I think the highlight for the day was Euro NZD. I think that was the highlight for the day there.
Definitely moved nice.
Yeah. So if you caught the GJ buys this morning, despite me having a break-even trade, I know some people caught those buys and actually secured positions. So if you caught those buys, if you caught the Euro NZD sells that was provided towards the end of the stream, drop a like on the stream. I really appreciate that. Helps the movement. But yeah, man, these sells were just really good. Because, you know, everything, see, again, like, you had so many confluences. Higher time frame was bearish. We had a retest. The 4 hour also was coming down to, you know, 4 hour, sorry, closed below this low. Did a retest, started to break down. So if anything, the impulse entry also was the break of the 4 hour low. So if you left runners, man, this whole 4 hour candle is your, wherever this goes, is your, like, extra profit, you know, because since it's already done a retest, right? So that 15-minute candle, this was the retest. This was the retest of the 4 hour support, and then we broke the 4 hour low, and we're now continuing. So if this is the top wick of the 4 hour, then we should not revisit this area. And if that's the case, then man, runners could run so well. I mean, we've got, if anything, you know, you've got a potential 60 pip move in a day that could happen based on these 30-minute levels that were provided. 1 hour time frame, also break and retest. Wow, it's just perfect. Daily break and retest, 4 hour break and retest, 1 hour break and retest, 30-minute impulse entry. So that's how you break it down. And I presume GJ is, oh no, it's not back in the range. But yeah, it's just dirty. GJ keeps rained in London session. GJ likes playing her games. Yeah, it's been I think the first week of Jan was amazing. Like, it moved so well. I think every day was just nice, clean moves. And then since then, it's not moved well. But I mean, look, we can say price is not moving well. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to be disciplined. And yeah, and then, you know, it doesn't really make too much of a difference in that sense, you know. Obviously it makes a difference, but as long as you're managing your risk, you're being cautious with trades, then it's fine. When it moves better, you're gonna be able to get a piece of that pie, you know, because you've been grinding it out, you've been loyal during its bad times, you know, and then it should move well. GJ, it's definitely hard to trade this January. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. But I think it's been a great month to set the tone for the year, you know, in terms of the way candles form, in terms of the liquidity grabs that we've witnessed early on, you know, all of these things, they remind you of market conditions and how volatile it can be. So when you're experiencing that volatility, you know, it's almost a reminder of, you know, you are not better than the market. You are not you can't beat the market. You just have to, you know, understand the way in which it moves, take your trade, manage your risk, and, you know, the outcome will always be whatever the outcome will be. You know, so I think it's been a great reminder, you know, in terms of, like I just said, the volatility of this pair, you know, how the London session can move so awful at times, you know, and then those are the days. In fact, when price is moving like this is when you need to be at your best. You know, forget catching the big 50, 60 pip moves. Everybody's like, yeah, I got a piece of that, great. But how did you deal with when price was consolidating like this? How did you deal with poor price action? Could you control that urge? You know, and if you can, then that's already a winning day, in truth. You know, if you can resist a bad price action day and you can say, you know what, I'm gonna come back tomorrow, I don't like it, man, that's a win. That's a win in my book. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here in a sec. Man, they need to get some better tunes, I swear. I bet you lot in the Zoom are glad you can't hear the tunes. Some of them are really good and others are just... Asian session looking better. Yeah, Asian session has been looking better, I have to say. GBP JPY buyout sell, neither. It's ranging. GJ can't break above 142.500. Well, we are above 40, I think you mean 142.600, but yeah, 142.600 is having some issues. I think Euro NZD should still continue moving bearish. Oh yeah, once this 15-minute candle breaks this low over here. Yeah, look at this 5-minute structure. Yeah, once we break this 5-minute low, we should be off. We've broken the low on the 15-minute. Yeah, we should be off now. What a clean move. Oh, below. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, wow, look at this. Yeah, I bet Ibs wish he left his runners now.
100%.
Yeah, oh well, man. Lesson learned, innit? Hey, listen, at least you took a win. So
That's it.
2 wins for the day, man. That's a better day than most. But yeah, it's just so clean. So let's do a little rounding off here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It can't break back below 142.500. Yeah, but at the same time, it's not breaking above 142.600. So let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. I suppose we're coming into the second half of the 1 hour candle now. 30-minute. Yeah, I mean, it can continue bullish, but it's just pretty dirty. Like, you wouldn't want to be sitting through all this range consolidation. I think it's just going to be best to wait for if we can break above 142.600. Okay, yeah, so let's do a little bit rounding off here. So let's look at gold. Gold, wow, what an awful session for gold. It did break down below this area, which we did say, you know, would continue bearish. I think good sells, yeah, it could have made sense for good sells actually over here. But yeah, GJ just kind of ranging right now. There's no real bias on GJ. Well, there's still the bullish bias, but we need to break above 142.600 for GJ to continue up anyway. So anything in this range is no trade anyway. GCAD tried to move bullish. It's now just kind of consolidating here now at this point. So we can just see GCAD's just consolidating. Euro JPY did move bearish, but we didn't really look at EJ today, to be fair. It's just in a dirty position at the moment. I mean, look at this price action. It's dreadful. Euro NZD sells played out. Oh, look at that. First target hit over there. Yeah, it came right down to our target. Lovely. So that was a like 20 pip range. Yeah, 16, 17 pip range. It's very nice. GU just consolidating. GU just ranging hard. This is ghost shit. Absolute disgusting. So we've got 6 minutes. Alright, we'll just wait the 6 minutes to see how this candle closes, and then I will be calling it a day. We'll wait the 6 minutes. So if anyone's got any charts they want me to look at, if anybody's got any questions, anything like that, we've got 6 minutes before the end of the stream, and I can do that. Nobody got any questions? No charts to look at before we finish. Got 3 minutes left. So GJ's trying to flip bullish. But yeah, I don't see it breaking above 142.600 in the last 2 minutes, but it's GJ. It does some crazy things now and again. What's the target short for EN, please? So the first target we said was 1.6 1.7650, and then the second target is going to be around another 20 pips away, which is 1.674450, right? And then the third target would be from there another 20 pips away, so beautiful ranges, 1.67250. So this is like the third TP. If it reaches all three TPs within an intraday, then yeah, you got some great runners. But I think in terms of an entry, I don't know if you took those sells, Jason, but you know, the sells were up over here. You know, this is your first entry point. Sorry, this is the first TP. Obviously, you want to secure positions at like 10 pips or whatever, but that's up to you. This is your first target. This is obviously the second target and the third target. $56 seconds. GJ rejected 2 times on 30-minute candle, 1.4268 exact. That also 1 hour support. Yeah, I think it's still, yeah, it looks like it can continue moving bullish, but at the same time it's rejecting this top, so yeah. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. Yep, thank you, Imran. We'll see you later. Have a good day. Yes, took short up there. Thank you. Oh, nice. Yeah, you should be into some nice profits now in your NZD. I think, yeah, I think you could have TP2 over here. You know, what you'd maybe want to do is, you know, let's say for example you've got 20% of your runner running. You would close, let's say, 50% of that 20%. So you'd close half of your runner, and then you'd leave the rest of the runner to the third TP, because you also want to secure more profits. You know, you want to bag, you want to certify some more profits, because you know, you never know, it could come back to form resistance. You could make this low and then retrace. So that's why it's important to also secure profits. Really important to secure profits. So the 30-minute candle closed bearish on GJ. So it is technically just ranging. You know, like it is technically ranging. 1 hour candle still open. So yeah, it's kind of ranging, but it still can't, like, based on the higher time frames, there's still this bullish bias. You know, there's still a bullish bias. We still can come up and fill the 4 hour wick. The only way we can do that is if we kind of break this 1 hour high. Take a look at the 30-minute. Yeah, it still can break up, but for me, I think I'm gonna call it a day there. You know, gave it the one try. It's just consolidating. So I mean, unless I get a nice close above 142,600 after the stream, then probably just going to wait a bit. So without further ado, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks everyone on the YouTube and on the Zoom.
Yeah, mate.
Yep, so we'll see you all tomorrow, 7:30
Cheers.
AM GMT. No worries. Have a good day, everyone. Don't overtrade. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much. Oh, and drop a like on the stream. See you guys.